Yesterday, Bloomberg News reported that Beijing had ordered Chinese airlines to halt deliveries of all Boeing aircraft. Neither Boeing nor the Chinese government have commented, but President Trump appeared to confirm the report in a social media post.
They're the biggest exporter in the U.S., and China's a really big market for them. Over the next 2 decades, they project 20% of their demand is going to come from China. Well, this is likely a big blow for them. I mean, you think about it, they've already had a really tough year with whistleblower accusations, pressure on the stock price. But this is China going after an iconic American company. You said it.
Remember when America used to make stuff? Well, Boeing just said Zia to thousands of American workers faster than Trump can say covfefe. Our iconic plane maker is packing its bags and moving overseas, all because our orange-in-chief decided tariffs were a great idea. Want to know the real kicker? The same guy who promised to bring manufacturing back to America just drove out one of our biggest manufacturers. It's like hiring a firefighter who shows up with a flamethrower. Stick around to see how Trump's trade war turned into America shooting itself in both feet. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. Remember when America was great at making big flying metal tubes? Well, that's changing faster than Trump's story about why he lost the election. Boeing isn't just some random company with a cool logo. It's basically America's manufacturing trophy wife, the one we show off at parties to prove we still got it. This is the company that built the planes that won wars and connected the world. Pretty impressive stuff. But now, they're packing up and moving overseas, leaving thousands of American workers holding nothing but pink slips and MAGA hats. Talk about irony that's thicker than Trump's makeup. These workers believe the whole America First thing, and now they're first in line at the unemployment office.
China, there's a report that China has told its airlines to halt deliveries of new Boeing aircraft as well as parts. Now, this is one report. It has not been confirmed by the state government, at least not in a statement yet. And when you look at it, they've got 128 named orders, hundreds more that are in the queue but have not been named to specific Chinese airlines. There's also a report China has taken delivery of 18 Boeing aircraft this year, 18 new aircraft. But the order backlog is immense out of China.
Boeing has been in America for over 100 years. That's older than Trump, though his ideas about trade seem like they're from the Stone Age. For a century, these folks have been building planes in American factories with American workers. Now they're saying adios to all that history. The numbers are brutal. We're talking about entire towns built around Boeing factories that are about to become America's newest ghost towns. Places where 3 generations of families worked on the same assembly lines. Soon, the only thing flying out of these towns will be U-Haul trucks.
China's government has reportedly ordered its domestic airlines to stop accepting deliveries of Boeing jets and to halt purchases of aircraft parts from the U.S. China responded with 125% tariffs on U.S. goods. Boeing has declined to comment on China's order, but according to data gatherer Aviation Flights Group, this is according to a Bloomberg News report. The move comes as, of course, trade tensions escalate between China and the U.S. Last week, the Trump administration increased tariffs on Chinese imports.
Trump slapped those tariffs on steel and aluminum, making it way more expensive for Boeing to build planes in America. It's like putting a tax on tomatoes and cheese, then acting surprised when pizza places start closing. Boeing's costs went up 25% on steel and 10% on aluminum. That's a lot of extra cash just to be patriotic. China didn't waste time hitting back. They told their airlines to stop buying Boeing planes, which is like telling your kid to stop buying ice cream from the guy who just insulted your family. China was one of Boeing's biggest customers, and now they're shopping elsewhere. The real question isn't just about planes. It's about whether America can still make anything when our trade policies are written by a guy who bankrupted casinos. I mean, how do you lose money when the games are literally rigged in your favor? So did Trump's tariffs really force Boeing to shut down U.S. operations?
Within the last week, guys, that airlines are going to say, wait a second, I got to pay a tariff on this aircraft? Maybe I don't need it right now. You hold on to it. With regard to tariffs, that is going to catch a lot of attention. Ryanair CEO Michael O'Leary, a friend of the Squawk Box crew, he told the FT today that there is every likelihood they may delay Boeing aircraft deliveries due to tariffs. Now, this is just the comments of Michael O'Leary, but this has been percolating under the surface a little bit within the airline industry, that as this tariff war heats up,
his trade war turned into friendly fire on American jobs. CEO Kelly Ortberg didn't move production because he hates bald eagles and apple pie. He did it because Trump's tariffs made staying impossible. Next up, let's look at who's really getting hurt here. And spoiler alert, it's not the guys with the private jets. You know what's not coming back to America? The thousands of high-paying jobs that just flew away faster than Trump running from a tax audit. Boeing isn't just laying off a few people. We're talking about entire manufacturing ecosystems collapsing across multiple states. It's like someone pulled the bottom block from a Jenga tower and now everything's falling down. These aren't just any jobs. These are the kind of jobs Trump specifically promised to protect, the kind that built the American middle class. For many, working at Boeing was a source of identity, pride, and belonging. Now that identity is gone, replaced with uncertainty and job applications. Engineers who spent decades perfecting American planes are now updating their resumes and wondering if they should learn Mandarin. Small towns that depended on Boeing are watching property values drop faster than Trump's approval rating after a debate performance.
If they decide to expand the strategy, you could see companies that rely on China for revenue, like Disney, Tesla, Apple, Nvidia, Nike, Starbucks, the list goes on.
Wow. Do you think that China will target more American companies? And if they do, how is that going to impact the consumer here?
So this is part of the trade war playbook. This is a non-tariff tool that China can weld, and this was already a concern back. That is something when you think about the impact of the consumer. If they lose revenue in one area, well, they might raise prices in another area, and that sort of trickles down to us.
Houses that were once someone's retirement plan are now worth less than a used MAGA hat. The ripple effect is massive. For every Boeing job lost, about 4 more disappear in the supply chain, like dominoes falling after Trump knocked over the first one. That little machine shop that made specialized parts, gone. The catering company that fed Boeing workers, empty. The trucking company that moved materials, parked. Local governments are freaking out about lost tax revenue. Turns out you can't fund schools and roads with just MAGA merchandise sales. School districts and technical colleges had created programs specifically to train Boeing workers, but now those programs are getting cut faster than Trump's attention span during a security briefing. National security experts are raising alarms too. Moving advanced aerospace technology overseas is like handing your house keys to someone you just got into a fight with. Even a small breach or oversight can have significant consequences when it comes to defense manufacturing. But hey, at least we'll save a few bucks on plane tickets, right? How many American jobs are actually being lost from Boeing's overseas move? Over 100,000 when you count direct and indirect employment. That's more people than Trump claims were at his inauguration. And these numbers are real.
When it comes to Boeing, is there any way they can offset this by exporting to other countries?
It's a possibility. There has been some interest from some of India's commercial airlines, but China just represents such a big market for them.
Well, and Boeing CEO last month just said 80% of its commercial planes are delivered outside the U.S. So yes, they manufacture domestically, but does that help if there isn't an international market for these?
Over the next 2 decades, China represented 20% of their demand when it comes to these commercial planes, so that's going to be really hard to replace.
The collapse is spreading beyond Boeing. Other manufacturers are looking at what happened and asking themselves why they should stay loyal to a country whose trade policies change with every tweet. Boeing's move served as a warning to other companies. So next time Trump brags about bringing jobs back to America, remember, he's the same guy who helped send over 100,000 of them packing. Trump promised to make American manufacturing great again, but instead he's watching it fly away like his comb over in a strong wind. His big trade war ended up being more like America waving the white flag while jobs went bye-bye. Next time someone tries telling you that tariffs protect American jobs, just point to those empty Boeing factories. Ask them who exactly got protected here besides Trump's ego. Maybe the real lesson is that running a country is actually harder than hosting a reality TV show. The consequences are a lot more serious than just saying you're fired, especially when it's 100,000 Americans losing their paychecks.